10 most depressing cities in the world. The world is made up of satisfying and nauseating places. The way man has managed this earth has made some parts of it to be very depressing. In this video, we will be presenting the top 10 most depressing cities in the world you can ever live in. Though facilities and services in these cities may not necessarily be bad, living there doesn't bring happiness. These cities may not necessarily be dirty, the action and attitude are far from being neat. The listing of the most depressing cities to live in the world shouldn't be seen as an insult or a way to hurt any individual living in these cities. It's just for educational and information purposes. 10. Chisinau, Moldova. Chisinau, the capital of Moldova and home to more than 800,000, is one of the most depressing cities in the world. It's often a victim of natural disasters. The post-Soviet city, with all of its positive and negative characteristics, is one of the unsafe places to live in. Chisinau is vulnerable to a wide range of natural disasters, such as droughts, early frost onset, earthquakes, floods, hailstorms and landslides, as well as severe weather patterns. Before you travel to this city, make sure you are aware of the current circumstances regarding the severity and likelihood of this danger. 9. Sana'a, Yemen. The city of Sana'a, the capital of Yemen, can be quite dangerous because of the high influence of terrorists and an extremely high crime rate. Sana'a is located in the Yemeni mountains and serves as the country's administrative centre. It is not advisable to travel to Sana'a. There's a significant chance of becoming a victim of a terrorist attack and being murdered anywhere in Yemen, including the capital. The threat of crime is high at all hours of the day and night. Because of the spate of terrorism in Sana'a, Americans are warned by the government to avoid travelling there. Civil conflicts and local demonstrations both enhance the likelihood of danger. It's one of the most depressing cities to live in the world. 8. Kouvola, Finland. Kouvola is quite infamous for its racism and high crime rate. It's a dangerous and mentally harassing place to live. Located in southeastern Finland, near the Kymi River and surrounded by woods, it has an unusual blend of urban and rural. Some 81,000 people are living in about 7,500 summer houses in this Finnish city of 450 lakes. According to one author, the unilingual town is perhaps the worst city in Finland, owing to the high percentage of racism. Even though Kouvola is considered a backwater village with bigoted residents, it's not nearly as scary as it appears on the surface. It also has a high rate of violent crime, such as assault and armed robbery. 7. La Oroya, Peru. La Oroya is a city with dangerous levels of pollution and harsh weather. The city is located in a rich mining region that includes the Cerro de Pasco, Morococha and Caspalca mines. La Oroya has developed into a vital link in the transportation network between Lima and the interior. Not because of violence or harsh weather, but because of pollution, the city is a depressing place to live. A metal refining firm named Run Peru bought a lead smelter in the small Peruvian mountain hamlet of La Oroya in 1997 with the intention of improving the plant and making it less detrimental to the environment. The plan was botched and harmful components used in the smelting process continue to damage the air, water and soil in La Oroya. There are a lot of health concerns about this pollution as lead poisoning continues to harm the children in the city. 6. Ijmuiden, Netherlands. The little-known Ijmuiden is also one of the most depressing cities in the world. The small port city in the Dutch province of North Holland had an estimated population of 22,975 as of 2021, shows something isn't right. The main town in the municipality of Velsen, Ijmuiden covers an area of 12.91 square kilometres. Straddling the mouth of the North Sea Canal to Amsterdam with its large sea locks, the city is a little depressing with its large reserve of plant-covered dunes. It's not a place tourists love to visit. 5. Murmansk, Russia. Murmansk is one of those cities that witness extreme weather conditions and extremely low exposure to sunlight. This alone is capable of making any city depressing. The Russian port city on the Norwegian border is the largest in the Arctic Circle. There's nowhere else on the planet where people spend so much time in near-perpetual darkness as they do in the Far East. Consider all of the sunless skies you've seen in all of the post-apocalyptic flicks you've seen. Then cover it with a thick coating of freezing snow. When you step out of a little wooden cottage and into the coolness of a winter day in Murmansk, the world's biggest city beyond the Arctic Circle, you are greeted by this forlorn landscape. The temperature often ranges between -5 and -22 degrees Fahrenheit daily. Thus, nature may be rather melancholic in Murmansk during this time of year. 4. Dhaka, Bangladesh. Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh and the country's capital, is another poverty-stricken city with a very unbalanced socio-economic structure. When you think of the nation in which this city is located, what is the first thing that comes to mind? However, if you guessed sweatshops and exploitation, you've struck the nail on the head. With more than 12 million residents, this city is incredibly congested. The number of people roaming about in the city is so huge that human traffic often causes a genuine traffic gridlock. Additionally, it should be noted that the vast majority of the city's population just live in squalid conditions in slums that take up the majority of the city's land area. Nothing can change the reality that Dhaka remains the capital of Bangladesh, not only in the official sense but also culturally and industrially. As a result, it is suggested for tourists as a highly unique experience. 3. Charleroi, Belgium. Charleroi, the fourth most populous city in Belgium, is one of those cities with the highest unemployment rates. That's why people in this region aren't as happy and cheerful. It was, by most accounts, a dump that had long since passed its prime. The city was mired in its fading industrial past and had just one notable tourist attraction, a photographic museum, to offer visitors. Not long ago, a reviewer of the city stated that visiting the railway station was the finest thing to do because it signals that you're about to leave. The city is a shadow of its former splendour when the carbon mines and steel manufacturers were in full gear. It's now a fairly impoverished community that's not particularly clean or safe. The city centre is on a slight incline and contains some churches. Your gaze, on the other hand, will immediately wander to the outskirts of the ring road. 2. Pyongyang, North Korea. No one hearing the name of this city will feel like, wow, this would be a cool place to live. The dullness, the uniformity, and the appalling type of modernism are of concern. Stalin's psychedelic fantasy has come to life in the city. What is it like to live there on a daily basis? We don't have all the information to make a determination right now, but you can be sure such a city with this kind of little contact with the outside world is one of the most depressing cities in the world. 1. Norilsk, Russia. Norilsk is another Russian city on this list of the most depressing cities in the world. This is due to its depressing environmental factors and extreme weather conditions. It's dark in this city for most of the year. For instance, residents only enjoy an average of 77 minutes of sunlight daily during November. A typical Soviet industrial zone, Norilsk is a place where heavy metals are mined and processed. There are no environmental regulations in effect in this area. Can you fathom what kind of impact it will have on the environment? The amount of air pollution has reached such a high level that there is black snow in certain regions. It's also worth noting that Norilsk is one of the infamous top 10 most polluted cities on the planet, according to the Environmental Defense Fund. And do you know what's the worst thing about living in Norilsk? They can't travel out of the city by road, only by plane or by boat. Against this backdrop, it should come as no surprise that the vast majority of the population is comprised of former Gulag inmates and political prisoners. There are a variety of elements that make a city depressing and gloomy. What it comes down to is that the general feel of the city is a little less energizing and mostly miserable. If you know any other city in the world that is more depressing than these based on the yardstick used, please don't hesitate to share your knowledge. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.